For Comedy Hype News, I'm Dom Smith. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan is the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Those are the very first words viewers hear from Huey Freeman when the Boondocks premiered in November 2005. That simple statement causes everyone at the garden party to riot because they can't handle the truth. And that's exactly what Huey Freeman and Aaron McGruder's words can do to people when they speak. When it comes to the Boondocks, many speculate that Huey is the moral center who brings balance to the show. Huey is always reflecting on current events and the plight of African Americans, and he's always got a message to spread.
Excuse me, brother. Mind if I have a word with you about some of the so-called food you're serving this evening?
Creator of the Boondocks, Aaron McGruder, uses the main character as a lens to provide his own commentary on America, politics, and black culture. He's also been outspoken towards his feelings of media representation of blacks, political leaders, and media figures. In his work, McGruder holds nothing back, and as a result, neither does Huey Freeman. Here are the times Huey Freeman said what we were all thinking. Huey Freeman gave a name and brought attention to a moment that we've never had a name for, but it was something that we've all seen before in black culture. Huey first defines a nigga moment in the first season episode, Granddad's Fight. A nigga moment is defined as a moment in which ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male, causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga. Nigga moments usually happen over trivial reasons like bumping into someone or stepping on someone's sneaker. 6 out of 10 nigga moments involve a sneaker. 50% of those sneakers are Nikes. I bet the other 50% are Jordans. Every nigga moment begins with a nigga. Without that key element, all you're left with is peace and quiet. In Stink Meter 3, The Hateocracy, the nigga moment is further expanded upon when Stink Meter defines nigga moments as perpetual conflicts between niggas over trivial or ignorant things. Niggas can also create mutual bonds based on ignorance, which was introduced as nigga synthesis. The first season had an episode called Return of the King, where Huey once again shows us just how socially aware he is by convincing MLK to start a new black revolutionary political party.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you get out of that room and continue to fight for freedom and justice this instant.
The episode is set in an alternate universe where MLK was never assassinated. Instead, he falls into a 32-year coma. Martin is disturbed by the state of black culture while watching TV, flipping through degrading music videos, award show fights, and other offensive stereotypes. Martin asks Huey, "What happened to our people?" Huey says that everyone was waiting for him to come back. Huey and Martin go door to door to try and spread the word of the Black Revolutionary Political Party. Martin hires an urban promotions firm to try and get the word out, which causes the wrong crowd to show up to the event. What was originally intended as an informative meeting turns into a wild night at the club. After witnessing everyone dancing, hustler preachers and rappers speaking, fights breaking out, people drinking, Martin erupts and reminds everyone what his original dream was. He condemns BET, Usher, Michael Jackson, and Soul Plane. The next day, King's speech gets replayed, causes anger amongst the black community, and starts the revolution that Huey was waiting for. The Itis involves Granddad starting a soul food restaurant of the same name. Its special is the Luther, described as a full-pound burger covered in cheese, grilled onion, 5 strips of bacon sandwiched between 2 Krispy Kreme donuts. The food was delicious, but addictive, as lines for the restaurant wrapped around the corner. The episode is memorable for Huey's retelling of the movie Soul Food. Big Mama invites her family over for dinner every Sunday evening. In the movie, Big Mama suffers a stroke during an operation to amputate her arm.
It was her leg!
Right, okay, whatever, leg.
I'm sorry, her leg. Big Mama dies shortly after, and the family gets together for Sunday dinner by eating the same food that killed Big Mama. The episode demonstrates Huey's awareness of how eating fried foods on a regular basis can kill you. He reads passages from Elijah Muhammad's How to Eat to Live in order to persuade customers towards healthier eating options. Aaron McGruder even makes sure he sneaks in a direct commentary on why this affects us so much.
All African American slaves had to eat was the parts of the pigs the slave masters wouldn't eat. But that was a survival technique, I said.
The Boondocks has always taken several jabs at the movie Soul Plane. The second season episode, Or Die Trying, shows Granddad, Huey, Riley, and Jasmine going to the movies to see Soul Plane 2, The Blackjacking. Jasmine's parents don't want her to see the film because of the stereotypes. Huey's reluctance is based off of two things. He doesn't want to see the movie, and he never thought the first Soul Plane was funny either.
Now, the first Soul Plane was funny.
About as funny as a lynching.
Oh, hush, boy, you ain't even see it.
I never seen a lynching either, but I know they not funny.
While watching the movie, Huey can't take much more of it, so he attempts to make his way to the projector room and destroy the film. It appears that Huey thinks Soul Plane has the same effects on black people that BET has, which creator Aaron McGruder has also been very vocal about.
BET is what it is. Everyone knows what it is. It's like, the question is, what are we going to do about it, you know? Because it's, you know, I can't talk too much more about BET.
Aaron McGruder is no stranger to criticizing BET. Before the show, the comic strip did it on a frequent basis. When talking about the unaired episodes of the show that went after the network, co-writer and executive producer of the series, Rodney Barnes, said, "You expect white television to represent white people in a particular way. The anger comes from black television portraying us in a particular way. That brings out a different sense of frustration, and at the heart of these episodes is that frustration. It's a black president Huey Freeman follows the months leading up to the 2008 presidential election. Everyone except Huey and Uncle Ruckus are excited for Obama. Huey's reluctance to support Obama goes hand in hand with Magruder's own thinking. According to the Richmond, Indiana publication Palladium item, Magruder addressed an audience at a Martin Luther King Day event at Earlham College. Because the event wasn't open to the press, his words were misinterpreted. He cleared those comments up by saying, "For a long time now, I have tried to keep my opinions on the election and Barack Obama to myself. Barack is the son of an immigrant, not the descendant of a slave. I did say I was cautiously pessimistic about Obama's presidency. Let us not forget that on the eve of the election, we witnessed a near $1 trillion robbery of the US Treasury. That robbery is still taking place. I do not blame President Obama, but I do not believe the financial and corporate interests that own and control this country will fold so easily. I do not question the integrity of the man as much as the power of his office, which I believe has greatly diminished over the years. I believe the Federal Reserve Bank, the military-industrial complex, and the massive corporate interests that run this country have more power than our new president. I hope I am wrong." Aaron McGruder's own thoughts are reflected through Huey in the episode. When asked if he was excited about the thought of America's first black president, Huey says,
Aren't you excited, little man?
Eh.
This causes everyone in Woodcrest to be outraged, and Huey is labeled as a domestic terrorist. Once again, this lines up with Magruder's own experience. After 9/11, I witnessed most of this country become obsessed with squashing dissent and silencing critics. I hope this election does not turn Black America towards this same fascist mind state, but I am already starting to see it, and it saddens me greatly. I absolutely wish our new president and his family success and safety, but after all I have witnessed in my lifetime, and especially in the last 8 years, I am not ready to lay down my skepticism or my outrage for this government. To do so would be unwise and, ironically enough, anti-American. Whether we see Huey ranting about R. Kelly or the dangers of BET, the similarities between Magruder and Huey are nearly impossible to ignore. The New Yorker even referred to Huey as Magruder's alter ego. Magruder has things he wants to say to his audience, and Huey Freeman is the perfect vehicle for that. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel, and follow Comedy Hype across all social media. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Dom Smith.